What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna be, of course, talking about the topic of the Elemental Masters. So let's talk about this. Now, we got reveals of the Season 2 Part 2 summer sets. That, of course, includes the two returning Elemental Masters, Mr. Pale and Tox. But that got me thinking, since those two Elemental Masters are returning, and Cinder is, of course, joining the tournament, with, of course, the smoke powers from Ash, which Elemental Masters could we see return in Dragon's Rising Part 2? So, let's speculate and talk about all of the remaining Elemental Masters that we could possibly see in Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2. So let's start with, of course, the lesser known Elemental Masters, and then we'll talk about the huge, you know, well known Elemental Masters. Starting off with, of course, Jacob. Now, I highly don't think that Jacob would likely, of course, return to the show. So, Jacob is off in our list. Next up, we got Belovo. I don't really think he's really gonna join the tournament, so nope. And finally, we of course got Camille. Now, the voice actress of Camille had returned in Dragon's Rising, voicing Alamatide. So it is possible, and Lego has made a legacy version of Camille, which is our first time getting Camille, being the final elemental master we needed as collect Lego collectors. So I could see maybe, but I highly not. Now let's talk about Gravis. Now, Gravis has a similar face to, of course, Dorama, and I feel like reusing that face and giving it a new outfit, I would likely think that, of course, Gravis would return to, of course, Dragon's Rising. Plus, he was voiced by Kirby, who sadly passed in 2020. So I feel like Andrew would, of course, do the role justice for Gravis. Speaking of Andrew Francis, let's talk about his Elemental Master character, Shade. Now, I would highly think, yes, I feel like Shade could return in Dragon's Rising because, Andrew Francis has worked on the show, plus he voiced two characters in, of course, the season being Eagle and Cole. So I would highly think, yes, Shade could return. Now, let's talk about the big four, that being Karloff, Neuro, Griffin, and Skylar. So let's talk about Karloff. Karloff, I feel like most likely possible is a possible thing that Karloff could return, but as of right now, I feel like now's not the time to, of course, return and see Karloff. But if you guys do want to see Karloff, comment down below. Next up, we of course got Nero. Now, I doubt Nero, of course, shows up because he's voiced by Paul Dubston, who is, of course, the voice of Wu. So I feel like, yes, I considered Nero, of course, come back in Dragon's Rising Season 2, Part 2. And finally, we, of course, got Griffin. Now, Griffin is a fan favorite elemental master between Nero, Shade, and Karloff and Skylar. So I would say, yes, I would have high hopes if they were likely originally planning to have Griffin return. But it's fine if they don't have Griffin. I mean, I'm totally okay. But if they did add Griffin, that's great. And finally, we're gonna be talking about the huge big one, that being, of course, Skylar. Now, Skylar has been referenced in Dragon's Rising, thanks to some of the ninjas referencing, of course, Chet's Noodle House. So I would likely see Skylar return, but as of right now, maybe not. I mean, she has been referenced a lot recently in Dragon's Rising, so I give high hopes for her seeing Skylar. And it would be so cool to see her dynamic with, of course, Wildfire, and possibly Kai once he gets out of Nether Space. So those are, of course, my likely candidates of who might return. So I feel like, of course, Mr. Pale and Tox will, of course, return. I feel like Gravis could maybe return. Shade, I think, possibly could return. Maybe Nero, I guess. High hopes for Griffin Turner and high hopes for Skylar to, of course, join the Tournament of the Sources. We do know that the main uh, nine ninjas will of course be joining. Well, except for Kai, but who knows? Kai might show up by the end of the season, but and of course Cinder replacing Ash because Ash is dead. And it'll be kind of great seeing the Elemental Masters come back because we haven't really seen them since season 9. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting how they can, like, let's say during the merge, like some of the ninjas helping citizens in during the merge, let's say like the Elemental Masters were also there helping in different places in Ninjago. And Ash like died during the merge. So that's my theory on how Ash, died at some point during the merge, and that's how Cinder got his smoke powers, and of course joining the tournament. But comment down below on which of the Elemental Masters could you see return in Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2. Let me know down in the comments down below, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video, and until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!